Day that you wake up and see it ain't anything you take it to be. You gonna have to face it through the map. It's basic when your path is equating to free. That's who it be, master decree. K made son, last of the G-O-D. I'm the last of the creed, assassins craft, that's true indeed, yeah.
Thank you for tuning to F.M.S. Heal the Nation podcast. Heal the Nation podcast is ttt.v. ttt.v stands for Tell the Truth Vision. In our podcast, what we want to do is help heal people, help people to become aware of things that they are not really paying attention to, and guide them, and also for them to share their experiences so we can learn from one another. That's the whole idea of Future Management Services, which stands for, which is abbreviation F.M.S. So F.M.S. Heal the Nation podcast. Today's podcast is a mental health podcast, and that podcast is, can we talk about mental health levels? Mental health levels. Well, we can see there is a lot of things going on right now. A lot of things going on in people's minds, a lot of things going on in everything we see, everything around us is definitely something mental going on. Because every mental brings about a reaction in a physical way. So anything you think about for a long period of time, eventually it comes to pass because you will manifest it somehow, shape, or form. So that goes with good things you think about or bad things you think about or whatever it is, because it's like a magnet. It attracts what you think about. So, but anyway, the reason for this podcast is to educate and heal people. We could do that together by participating with your comments, and people read the comments and liking, sharing, and letting others know about the podcast, and whatever podcast you may have liked, you can share. We have quite a few podcasts. Well, most seem to have it all together, but we don't know what happens behind the scene, what things they may be going through. So that is something that we don't know, because we may look at somebody, for instance, and we may think that they have no flaws or something, but behind closed doors, they may be going through things with their child. They may be going through things with their spouse. Their job is on their mind. Whatever trauma and stress they may be going through, they may not show it on the outside, but it's eating them up inside, and it's wearing at their mental health. So consciously, they may not be aware of how much it's affecting them because they don't give thought to it, because a lot of people think they have it all together. But that's not the case. When the weight gets heavier and heavier, then you don't know how that person does not know how they're going to respond to it. So, we all have to really be mindful of the traumas and stresses that we experience and how we handle them and how it affects us, our behavior, our thought pattern. So that's very important. And the music playing in the background, I don't have any rights to or anything like that. I'm just playing it because I like the atmosphere. So, I like the song. It's a very nice song. And the other thing that I'd like to point out is Some, if not most, live a lie, even believing it and getting others to believe it too. That is a mental illness unchecked. So, that's a mental illness unchecked. Because no one close to them knows, because they only know what they tell them. So basically, people are projecting what they want to project to others on the outside. And they may paint an image that is not an accurate image, or it may not be true at all. And they put on a facade to make it seem, it's like acting. They act as though it's a fact or it's true, and their behavior exudes that. And the more they do it, the more they believe it. So you have to be careful of people who try to paint a picture without facts. Basically, hearsay, or they're painting a picture of themselves and you do not see any proof of what they're talking about. They just smoke screening you. They're trying to get you to be on their side or their frame of thought, or to see them the way they want you to see them, or to see others because of their own objective. They may do that. You know, that may be a reason. I don't know the reason why people do that, but I'm just thinking. Perhaps you can comment and tell me what your thoughts are on that. But let's talk levels of mental health. There are about 6 different levels I could think of. Perfect mental health, good mental health. No, let me start that over. Perfect mental health, great mental health, good mental health, fair mental health, poor mental health, and bad mental health. So it's about 6 different levels of mental health. So perfect mental health, be honest with yourself. You think you have perfect mental health? You may or may not, I don't know, but they say nothing's perfect in this world. So you probably don't have perfect mental health. You don't do everything exactly correct or right. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but most of us don't. Great mental health. There's a few people that may fall into that category. And even doctors, psychiatrists, and professionals that are out there may not even have great mental health, because they may have to listen to other people's problems and concerns or what have you, and that wears on their mental health, and they may even have to see a psych. And there's plenty of people, professionals, who go see a psychiatrist or a therapist or things of that nature, and they're considered to have great mental health. So then there's good mental health. Some of us may fall into that category. And there's fair mental health, which is a majority of people, I would say, have fair mental health. You know, that's definitely a good level, a fair level, I should say, because most feel they have everything pretty much together. They don't have it all together, most of us, but they have a fair way of handling it. You know, I would say fair mental health. Then there's poor mental health. So poor mental health to me would be like going through like a lot of stress where it's affecting your behavior and you can't handle it. You may have headaches or some type of telltale sign that your body tells you that something is wrong. You may have sweats. You may have breakout in hives, things like that. Something physical starts happening. I would say that's poor mental health. And you may do things that is not the right thing to do, making poor decisions and making hasty decisions and irrational decisions. I would say things like that would probably be poor mental health. Then bad mental health, like, you definitely need medication, and you definitely need some type of pH balance going on because there's just so much going on with you that you need a little bit more to help you cope. And poor mental health and bad mental health, fair mental health, you may need some of these things as well. Good mental health, you may even need it as well. But you may need more of a higher dosage with, not that I'm a physician or anything, I'm just speaking my opinion. For bad mental health, I would think that. So, but we all need to look and keep a good eye on our status. So there's a spectrum from one end to the other end. There's one high and one low, and a lot of us fall in those different categories. But what's one thing may be that we're higher in one particular thing that's going on, that we may have good mental health, and then bad mental health when it comes to something else. So we may have to work on that so that we can be better and bring it up to the level that we need it to be at. Mental health is very important. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to even think about it. But now that it's in the limelight, a lot of people are starting to talk about it a little bit more. It's not shunned. So mental health is everything. Everything that goes on in your life is mental. Everything was a thought before it became into existence. The computer, anything. Everything was thought about. So it's mental. Everything is mental. Everything you sit on and walk on and go, everything is a mental thing. So if you can control your mental and your responses to these things, it gives you an edge on handling these traumas and stressors. That's the whole point in talking about it. So in listening to it and commenting and so forth, so we can become more aware. These conversations, the conversations when we were growing up, did not take place. There's a lot of people in the world who may have had trauma and stress when they were growing up and deal with things the way they deal with things and think that it's okay because that's the way others deal with it. And that may not be the right thing to do. So we have to revisit these things. We have to really analyze and ask ourselves and be honest. Is this something that is the right thing, or I should be doing, or should I act this way? Should I behave this way? Should I, we have to question ourselves. Question ourselves helps us to get more in tune with ourselves and with the situation. So, anyway, as always, put Yah first in everything you do. Pray, meditate, and definitely pray for guidance. Pray for guidance, pray for knowledge, pray for wisdom and understanding. Because you need those three to navigate. And always ask Yahuwah and Yeshua, aka Christ, for help and guidance. And thank you for tuning in to F.M.S, Future Management Services. ttt, Heal the Nation podcast. You can see us on YouTube. YouTube is F.M.S, Heal the Nation podcast. It should pop up. You can use your voice to do it, or you can punch in F.M.S, Heal the Nation podcast. We have other podcasts. Please subscribe and support what we're doing here. It takes all of us to make this work. All of us have to work as a community. So this is like our community here. And in your community, you could talk to people and become a little bit more cohesive with the neighborhood. And, like there's a video that I did on community. And I'm kind of going into that right now, but I'm not going to elaborate too much on that, because this is a levels talk of mental health. So, but anyway, we all need to work together and love each other, love yourself and love each other. If you love yourself, you work on yourself to be a better you. With that, I say have a great night, and thanks once again for tuning into F.M.S, Future Management Services. Thank you.
Yo, as a child, my mom used to take me and my big sister to the circus in Manhattan almost every year, man. We loved it. All the animals and clowns and acrobats, all kind of weird stuff going on, but it was amazing to us. But circus came outside and now I feel different. Ringling brother, Braun and Bailey. Earth is looking so crazy. The other day I seen this lady twerking while she nursed her baby. Had to turn the other way from the disgrace. Quick and hasty, kept my cover, feeling smothered while big brother track and trace me. Hound me and he drown me out with lies so astounding. Clowns all around, every town just expounding. City turned to carnival. Circuses on purpose, lost connection with the universe. Now they feeling worthless. Can't resist the urges, null and void in all the searches. Spelling out their curses, rights is written out in cursive. Compassion is the compass, heart circuit. We have to work it, reverse the curse it. They cast it for, they cast us into purges. Masses fast asleep, still insurgent class emerges. Trapped in here with sheep, the divergent coming surges. Tidal wave rising, Phoenix on the horizon. Trump is worth to dump more shit that stunk. Our ship is sunk by Biden.